Hello, hello. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what day it is. July 24th. And you know what starts today? Training camp from Latrobe, man. It all starts today. The season starts today. Here we go, y'all. Here we go. It has been quite some time since I've hopped on this thing, but we are so friggin' back. What's cracking with y'all? It's your boy K-Mac back here with the Blitzburg Coverage Podcast, episode numero 40. Wow, it has been about 3 months, man, since we've talked. It's been a lot of wild things going on this offseason. A lot of rumors, a lot of talks, a lot of moves, a lot of things been happening. But in this episode, we are going to be previewing the 2024 season. Season number 2 for me of doing this thing. I don't know what episode we're on for season 2, but we're just going to keep rolling with it. So, if you guys remember when I first started this thing last year, I opened up with episode 1, previewing the season, win-loss predictions, records, stuff like that. Obviously, I was a little bit delusional. I had us going 10-7, if I'm not mistaken, winning the division. Went 10-7, but didn't win the division. So here we are today, getting that started off. From a new crib, right at my old house, so into a new one. Actually, a new apartment. And as you can see behind me, man, we got some decor. Still moving stuff in, but let's get right into this thing, man. Episode 40. Gonna go by each week and talk about each game. Obviously, it's just something fun to do, as nobody really knows who's gonna win each game. There's already betting odds and all that stuff out, but injuries, all that, preseason, all that stuff's gonna, change the results. Training camp started today. Pray to God no injuries happen, nothing crazy. Haven't really looked into it today, except for Najee Harris with a couple quotes because he hasn't talked to me in quite some time. But week 1, we start off on the road at Atlanta, 1 p.m. against Kirk Daniel Cousins, a quarterback we're not very familiar with. We've only played him once back in Washington, 2015, Monday Night Football opening game of the year, where we spanked him. DeAndre Williams, Antonio Brown, just cracked him. Obviously, Arthur Smith's former team, he was the head coach there the past couple of years. Didn't work out so well. That's why he's with us. So, at Atlanta, 1 p.m., Bijan Robinson in year 2, Kyle Pitts in whatever year he's in, overhyped anyways. Drake London, he's a good receiver, but nobody I'm quaking about. Atlanta's defense, I'm not quaking. I know we fall for trap games, but I think week 1 on the road, I think we find a way to win this game. But we need to understand that, this offense is going to need and take time before it gets cracking. We're not considering all the, variables offensively speaking with how many moving parts there are. I mean, look how much has changed in just 1 year. A whole new quarterback room. Sorry, someone's calling. Got to let that go. Big things cracking. Come on. Go away. I knew this was going to happen. Come on. All right. So a lot of different offensive variables just in one season. You're talking a whole new quarterback room. Gone are Mason Rudolph, Mitch Trubisky, Kenny Pickett. In comes Russell Wilson from Denver, Justin Fields via a trade from Chicago, and Kyle Allen, who was just a third-string free agent, can't body, and an undrafted free agent quarterback who's a dual threat. So that's your preseason right there. So looking at a new quarterback room, new wide receiver room, obviously with the trade of Deontay Johnson and incoming players like Van Jefferson, Quez Watkins, Scotty Miller, Roman Wilson, who we drafted in the 3rd round in the draft. Tight ends, nothing really changed there. Offensive line, obviously Troy Fautanu, draft pick in the 1st round. Zach Frazier, 2nd pick in the draft in the 2nd round. Gone is Mason Cole, so Zach Frazier hopefully starts. But if not, I think Big Herbig's going to start. Nate Herbig could be the starter for a couple weeks, but it's got to be Zach Frazier. So looking at 2 new linemen starting. Broderick Jones back at his natural spot. I'm a fan of that. And senior receivers, George Pickens, I think arguably, in my opinion, is a top 10 talent at receiver. Just hasn't had the production for it due to quarterback play. But he did lead the league in yards per reception last year. So he's just a big play waiting to happen. But the problem's going to be, how is he going to handle being double teamed? Is he going to throw a fit? Because last year there were definitely times where his effort came into question. His little fits and pouting on the sidelines, his unwillingness to block on that Jalen Warren play still sticks out to me during that Colts game. So, his character is going to be tested a lot this year with how the defenses are going to be trying to take him away. So, that's going to be big. So, offensively speaking, man, it's just going to take time. So, the first month, the offense might not really do a whole lot. It's going to need time. And that's why the defense is going to have to carry. But, we're used to that. The defense has been the fucking stepping stone of this team for the past 5 seasons now. So, it's nothing new. But, when you look at the defensive side of the ball, they're ready. They are so ready. You look at the D-line, Keanu Benton, year 2. I think he's going to come up big. Saw a lot of flashes out of him last year. Larry Ogunjobi's decent. I think he's more of a run stopper than a pass rusher. Cameron Hayward at this point in his career, looking for a contract extension. Not sure what's going to happen with that. But here's the hoping he's better this year. Unfortunately, he was injured most of last year, and I think that definitely affected his play. Again, more of a run stopper. Was always a 10 sack a year type of guy, 10-plus sacks. Really in his heyday. Not saying he's, a washed-up has-been, but I'm not really setting the bar too high for him because I think we need to address the line, to be honest. Haven't seen much out of DeMarvin Leal in 2 or 3 years. He's been a hybrid tweener type. Not sure where the hell his role is. Isaiah Loudermilk, just a defensive line depth piece. Haven't seen much of him since we traded up for him in the 4th round. Montravius Adams is just a rotational guy at nose tackle. Then you look at edge rushers. We're solid. I mean, when you got number 90, the best defensive player in the league. I know we're getting off track here, but I'm just previewing the team. It's all wrapped up in one game. We're going to go through the games, but we're just talking about the team, refreshing y'all's memory. Number 90, best defensive player in the league, reigning defensive player of the year, should be a 3-time defensive player of the year, got robbed in 2020. And obviously, we all know he's the real defensive player of last year. Myles Garrett, you're a fraud. We're not even going to go into that discussion right now, but yeah, we got number 90. We can win every game. Alex Highsmith, probably one of the best number 2 outside linebackers in the league. And those two are just a pass rushing duo that's going to create havoc. Then you have depth pieces like Nick Herbig, who looks really to put on some size in the offseason, training with TJ out of Wisconsin. They some Wisconsin boys. So is Keanu Benton. I think Herbig's going to step up big and hopefully give TJ and Alex some relief. Not sure who outside linebacker 4 is, so we'll see who fills in that role. Then you go to the inside linebacker group led by Patrick Queen, Elena Roberts, and then the unknown piece of what is Peyton Wilson going to bring to this team. Obviously a guy who's had injury concerns, but fell to us in the draft. We got him late in the third round with our compensatory selection. I think he could be a great fit here. I mean, rumors are saying they've been playing him in the dime package. The dude's just laterally quick, sideline to sideline. Dude can run a 4.40, and he's 6'3". Played really good at NC State, a lot of production. So, if if he's good, we're going to be great. With him, Patrick Queen, Atlanta Roberts, I look really more or less for Atlanta Roberts to be more of a run stopper, just as he was last year. And then let Patrick Queen and, Peyton Wilson kind of be more of the coverage guys. And we're good there. If Peyton Wilson is just a decent player, we're good there. I'm not even sweating the inside linebackers. And then we have the unknown Cole Holcomb, who's coming off of an injury. So you add him in, that's 4 solid linebackers. And there's your front 7, man. There's your front 7. TJ, Alex Highsmith, Keanu Benton, Cam Hayward, Patrick Queen, Atlanta Roberts, and Peyton Wilson. It's pretty freaking good. Then you look at the secondary. We added Deshaun Elliott, who was a pretty good tackler for the Dolphins, a good run stopper. Mika will hopefully be back more in his traditional role, kind of just as a roamer, over-the-top safety, which is what he does best. Still one of the best safeties in the game. Unfortunately, was just hurt a lot last year, and we played him more in the box, which is why he had a lot of tackles. And we played him just more towards the line of scrimmage, which he can do, but he's more or less best as a safety over the top, and he can just lurk and let him do his thing. Then you're talking about cornerback 1, JPJ, Joey Porter Jr., year 2. Going to be curious to see how offenses attack him. But, I mean, the dude was a beast last year. Shut down, lockdown corner. I think he's going to be big this year for us. He's going to take one side away of the field. Nickelback definitely has questions. Cameron Sutton's going to be probably the guy that fills that role once he gets back from suspension. I think he'll probably slide in around that week 10, week 9 range. Because obviously you're never in game shape until you play the games. I don't care what you say. You can't replicate game shape, game day shape. So he's going to need a couple weeks. So I think he'll really slide in the second half of the year. But the question is going to be who's going to be the corner the first half of the year. And I think that's going to be, I can't remember that corner they got from the Ravens. But the dude's got like red hair a little bit. And his name's Everett or something. I think he'll slide in there. But the guy who's going to be manning the other outside corner position is probably going to be Dante Jackson, which is the cornerback we got from the Panthers in that trade. Then you're looking at some younger players, Corey Trice Jr., who's got a lot of hype, but we haven't seen it yet due to injuries. That's why he missed last year. And then Darius Rush, just a player that he's got some speed, he's got some length. Let's see what he can do. An unknown commodity. And there's our defense, man. So back to week 1. I think we beat Atlanta. I'm not stressing Kirk Cousins. I think we get that win there. Week 2 at Denver, a 425 showing. Obviously, Russell Wilson, Sean Payton, they know each other pretty well. This one, to me, is a losable game. It's a trap game, 100%, because we haven't won at Denver probably since 2009, I want to say. And we just struggle against the Broncos. Not sure why, not sure how, but this is one of those games. It could be a loss, could be a win. It could be Bo Nix, could be Zach Wilson. I'm not sure what to make of that. I'll put that as a loss for now. First 2 games on the road. Then we finally have our home opener, week 3, at home, 1 o'clock on a Sunday versus the Los Angeles Chargers. Led by Jim Harbaugh, Justin Herbert, gone are Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler. They still got some solid defensive players, but I know we're going to win this game. I don't think they're ready for the physical brand of football we're going to play, especially at home for our first game. Even though we haven't had a good home opening win in quite some time, I think we get this one done, and I think we beat the Chargers in what is a pretty crucial game. So now I got us at 2-1 as we're looking to finish up the first quarter of the season Week 4 at Indianapolis versus the Colts. Played them last year. We got absolutely smoked. It was a Saturday 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock game. I was in Vegas. It was just a weird game. Gardner Minshew. We had Mitch. We got worked. That game was embarrassing. Hopefully gonna be playing Anthony Richardson. I think the Colts are honestly a little underrated. Richardson definitely showed some flashes last year. Jonathan Taylor is no slouch. Michael Pittman Jr., no slouch. Thought they had a good draft. Adonai Mitchell, a receiver that could pose some issues. And then they got, I can't say his name, but that edge rusher in the first round. So I think the Colts will be, I think this will be a tough game. Could be a loss, could be a win. But for me, I'll give this one a loss. I think we'll start out 2-2 to open up the first quarter of the season. As we open up the first 4 games, 3 of those are on the road, 1 at home. So now that brings us to Week 5. Sunday Night Football at home versus the Dallas Cowboys. And I have this game circled because, number 11, Micah Parsons, never shuts the fuck up. He talks his fucking mouth. And now you're going to see what a true pass rusher is, because, you want to run your mouth about who the fuck isn't the best. You make your little top 5 list of best edge rushers, putting yourself in there, Myles Garrett, Nick Bosa, Crosby, and whoever the fuck else the 5th guy was. But I noticed you didn't put TJ Watt in your top 5. And you're a professional football player, and you're going to exclude number 90 from your top 5 edge rushers because of impact on game. He basically said Alex Highsmith is better than TJ Watt because Alex Highsmith had a higher double team percentage. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? This is why nobody likes Cowboy players. You guys and Micah Parsons just continuously runs his mouth. Like, bro, keep your mouth shut. So you're going to see who the best defensive player is in the league, in the game, come that Sunday night. Because you, my friend, are a one-dimensional finesse pass rusher who relies solely on speed. Yeah, you can cover better than TJ, but you ain't half as good as him, my dude. You are a fraud, and you fade down every second half of the season. So until then, until you get fucking 15-plus sacks or a fucking defensive player of the year, shut your fucking mouth. Overhyped bitch. I hate you motherfuckers overhype this dude so much. He's an XLT. Really? Okay. Talk to me when motherfuckers run an LT like how they run at Micah Parsons. I see teams run at him. I can't wait till Najee stiffs arm. Oh, I can't wait. So this game for me, no doubt, we're going to beat Dallas. No sweat. Dallas is going to be trash this year. Dak, CeeDee Lamb, they're having multiple contract issues as we speak. What, Zeke? Are you fucking kidding me? What running game is there? I'm not stressing. I know Tony Ferguson's a solid tight end. I'm not stressing Dallas. We're going to win this game. You don't come into Pittsburgh on a Sunday night game and beat us. It's incredibly difficult. You ain't coming to our trap and winning. We're winning this game. Give me 3-2. Week 6 at Las Vegas. The Raiders, 4 o'clock game. And we played them last year on the road. Sunday Night Football. We won that game. Mainly because Jimmy Garoppolo was a turnover machine. This one, it's a loss/win for me. I'll put this one as a win, though. I'm not sure what to make out of Aiden O'Connell / Gardner Minshew. Their running game, I'm not too sure about it because they lost Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams, no slouch. Brock Bowers, no slouch. Michael Mayer, no slouch. And we know tight ends give us trouble. And then Jacoby Myers is a solid number 2. Max Crosby, top 5 edge rusher in the league. He's a beast, relentless. Then they added that nose tackle, big defensive tackle from Miami. Then, Antonio Pierce, I thought was a good. I think they made the right move, keeping him as their full coach. I mean, they played good for him. You could just tell their energy was different. This will be a tough game, though. I think we get a close win, though. Then again, Russell Wilson, familiar with some of these teams just from being on Denver. So I think we get this win here. Give me 4-2. Week 7, back at home for a Sunday night football game versus the New York Jets. Oh, also forgot to mention for that home opening game versus the Chargers, I'm hoping to be there. I have that one circled. I am planning on going to that game. But anyways, back to the Week 7 preview versus the New York Jets. Sunday night football, I have this one circled as a win. We have not played Aaron Rodgers in a very long time. A lot of times we were supposed to play him in Green Bay. He wasn't there because of injury or whatever the circumstance was. But yeah, we're playing Aaron Rodgers. It's going to be a tough game. The Jets have a good defense. Quinnen Williams, C.J. Mosley, Sauce Gardner. Their cornerback, too, is no slouch. Robert Saleh's a good defensive-minded coach. Rodgers, Breece Hall, Mike Williams, Garrett Wilson's a good receiver. This game is not going to be easy, but I think we get a close win at home again. Going to Pittsburgh, Sunday Night Football, primetime, it is incredibly difficult to beat us. Check the record. So I think we get that game done. So this opens up a doubleheader of New York teams as Week 8, we play at home Monday Night Football against the New York Giants. Daniel Jones. Does anyone remember the last time we played the Giants and Daniel Jones Monday Night Football? COVID year 2020. Ben's first game back from injury. We won that game handedly. Saquon didn't do shit. I don't see this one being much different. They don't have Saquon. Daniel Jones is okay. Malik Neighbors, just a glorified slot receiver. I'm not sweating him. I think the Giants have an underrated defense, though, led by Kayvon Thibodeau, traded for Brian Burns, and then they have that, who's that big D lineman they got? I know they got another good D lineman. Can't remember his name, but I think their defense is underrated, but offensively speaking, them boys ain't going to come in here and find a way to win. We are going to win that game. And as it stands, I have us at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 2 at this point in the season, with potentially losable games, in my opinion, against Denver, at the Colts, at the Raiders. But yeah, I got us at 6 and 2 heading into the bye week, which is Week 9. Week 9. And we have to start off hot because this second half of the schedule is going to be tough, physical. And here we go. Week 10 at Washington, 1 o'clock game. And I had this one marked as a loss/win. And the reason being, trap games, man. We're coming off the bye. We might be rusty. Rookie quarterback, last year when we're going to play Houston. We all like, that'll be easy. Rookie quarterback, DeMeco Ryans, rookie coach. They're not very good. And what do you know? We got our fucking ass spanked. So this game could prove to be tough. I think Washington has some decent players. I think Jaden Daniels is going to be better than Sam Howell. Terry McLaurin is no slouch. They got a couple other receivers. Defensively, they have a pretty decent D-line. New head coach and Dan Quinn. So, they got some decent players, but this one's probably going to be close. So I think that could be a loss. I'll say it's a loss. Give me 6 and 3 through 10 weeks. Then we open up. Yeah, the next 7 weeks, man, is going to be absolute madness, and I fucking love it because they're trying to break us. They're trying to break us with these games. Week 11, first division game finally on the schedule at home, 1 o'clock game versus the Baltimore Ravens. That's a win. That's a win easily. Baltimore lost a lot on the defensive side of the ball. Obviously, they made some additions, but lost some players. They lost 3 of their starting offensive linemen. Obviously, they lost some running backs. They get Derrick Henry, and that's going to be a problem, especially in the red zone. So you got Lamar, you got Mark Andrews, you got Zay Flowers, you got Rashad Bateman, you got Derrick Henry. Defensively, you still got Raekwon Smith, Kyle Hamilton, one of the best safeties in the game, especially one of the best young defensive backs in the game. Marlon Humphrey. They just drafted Nate Wiggins, I want to say. That lengthy, fast fucking corner. Brandon Stevens is pretty solid. They just added that safety, former of the Bears. Can't remember his name, but he was pretty good too. And the Ravens, I know they lost their defensive coach, Mike McDonald, whatever, to the Chargers when Jim went there. But the Ravens always have a good defense, man. It's just what they do. I don't expect it to be as good as it was last year, but I think they'll still have a pretty solid defense. So, they got players always ready to go, man. I'm never gonna doubt Baltimore, but I just know we own them. 1-7. They're 1-7 against us since 2020. Lamar's only beaten us one time, and that's if he's even playing this game. Whoops. Knock on wood. I'm not one to fucking pray for an injury, but that's just what it is. Who knows if he'll be there. So I got that as a win. Week 12 at Cleveland. Thursday Night Football. I have that as a loss. With a lot of these division games, though, I have them kind of loss/win. My gut tells me this will be a loss because I think we're going to split with Cleveland. But then again, I don't know if Deshaun Watson is going to be there both times. So I think this one's a loss. And then we go to Cincinnati, Week 13. Joe Burrow, knock on wood. I hope he's there. Because all the quarterbacks we play in our division have injury questions. Just look at their history. Deshaun Watson hasn't been there a whole lot. Lamar Jackson hasn't been there a whole lot. Joe Burrow hasn't been there a whole lot. And we're talking about all these late division games in the year. Who knows if they're going to be there? So, but I have this one at Cincinnati. I think this is a loss. And then we go back home against the Browns for a 1 o'clock matchup. No way are we losing this game. No shot does Cleveland sweep us. Not even our worst day will they come sweep us. Nah. We're going to beat Cleveland at home for sure. Week 15, we're going to Philadelphia for a 4:05 December matchup. This is a loss, no doubt in my mind. Philly looks to be one of the best teams on paper. Jalen Hurts, no joke. Saquon Barkley, no joke. A.J. Brown, no joke. Devontae Smith, no joke. Offensive line, still a good line. Dallas Goedert, still a solid tight end. Defensively speaking, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Dejon Cooper, Quinyon Mitchell. They still got fucking Darius Slay, Devin White, Brandon Graham. Like, they just got players every fucking where. So, and historically, we've never been good in Philadelphia. We haven't won there since like 1970 or 1960 or some crazy shit. And just the fact that we just got done playing 4 divisional physical games, AFC North brand of ball, no way do we go to Philly and win. No shot. No shot. This is a loss. Staying on the road, Week 16, going to Baltimore for a big matchup, 4:30. Yeah, this one's a win. Baltimore does not scare me. Not in the slightest. Again, we own the Ravens. And that's just what it is. And again, I don't know if Lamar Jackson's going to be here. Because history has shown we usually play their backups. That's what it is. That's a win for me. Week 17, Christmas game in Pittsburgh against the Kansas City Chiefs, the Super Bowl champions, back-to-back years. Yeah, that's a loss. Patrick Mahomes owns us. The dude averages about 350 yards, between 4 and 5 touchdowns a game. Yeah, no shot. Patrick Mahomes owns us. We haven't beaten him yet. Hell, half the game, none of the games have even been competitive. Well, the first one was okay, but we were getting our ass beat most of that game. I was there when he threw fucking 6 or 5 touchdowns, however many it was. Not a fun season opener in 2018. This is a loss for sure. Then week 18, we finish off the season. Saturday, could be a Saturday or Sunday game against the Bengals. That's a win for me. So as far as the division record goes, I have us going 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2. Yeah, we're going to sweep Baltimore. We're going to split with the Ohio teams. Though, that could change because I don't know if Joe Burrow, Deshaun Watson, and Lamar Jackson are going to be there for those games. I don't know. I can't confidently say they'll be there. And it's fucked up, but it kind of favors us. The divisional games being so late in the season kind of favors us because around that bye week, maybe 6 weeks, 7 weeks in, the offense should be humming. No excuse. The defense will give us takeaways. The punting game is going to be better. We got buys. We got a new offensive coaching staff. The running game, Najee, Jalen Warren, that line is going to be better. It's going to take time, but it's going to be better. So, with all the hypotheticals and everything considered, I have us at 9-8 as our floor. But, you say half these games that I have marked as losses/wins, like at Denver, that's a loss/win for me. At the Colts, that's a loss/win. At the Raiders, that's a loss/win. At Washington, that's a loss/win. And then you have the divisional games, which, again, who knows if Deshaun Watson's going to be there. And he hasn't even beaten us. Joe Burrow, I pray he's there, but I don't know if he's going to be there. And even then, the last time we played Joe Burrow, which was 2021, that shit was crazy. They beat us at home. We scored like 30 points, but it was a very close, competitive game. So even if Burrow's there, I'm not quaking. They've lost defensive players as well. I like their offense, but their defense doesn't really concern me. Trey Hendrickson's a beast, though. So, 9-8 with the potential to be, I give us our ceiling being 11-6. I think 11-6 is our ceiling, but I like us at 10-7 again, back-to-back years. The record will be the same, but the team is better than last year. But we'll see. That week 10 through week 18 stretch is going to be wild. You're talking 6 division games and then the Chiefs and Eagles in there. So, it's going to come down to that stretch, and hopefully we start off the season on a good note. If we start off on a good note and if we go into the bye week at 6-2 like I predicted, we'll be okay. We'll be fine. But that's my 2024 season preview for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hope you all enjoyed the video/podcast. Give your boy a follow. Give this thing a rating. Share it everywhere. Let the people know, because and I know this is the best #1 podcast in the world as far as Pittsburgh ball goes. So let's get it. Y'all have a great July. Great Wednesday hump day. So let's go, man. Your boy's out of here. I'm sweating in this freaking jacket. But we're ready to go, man. We are so ready to go. Training camp today. Let's see. Let's see, man. Let's fucking see who's going to be our starting 5 on the line. Who's going to be starting at nickelback. And, let's see what the fuck happens. If Russell Wilson doesn't work, throw Fields in there. Regardless, we're going to have packages for Fields. Whether it's in the red zone or just throw him in, throw a little wildcat, do something. But, I have no doubts about the rushing offense. But the passing offense, I definitely have concerns. So we'll see, though. We'll fucking see. I'm expecting the tight ends to be involved. I'm expecting Muth and Washington to get involved. I'm expecting the run game. Jalen Warren and Najee. Najee is trying to get a contract, so that boy's ready to go. We'll have a line. We'll actually have motherfucking maulers. Get Dan Moore Jr. out of the starting 5. And let's fucking go get to work, man. We're going to the playoffs this year. I'm not going to say where we're going to finish in the division yet, because the division's going to be fucking insane. All 4 teams will probably win 10 games or at least 9, just like last year. So who knows, man, but we're out of here. You'll have a great day. We out, man. # here we go.